Magnesium. It's not automatically the answer to leg cramps after 60. And if that bottle sitting on your nightstand hasn't been helping, or the cramps are coming back worse than before, you may be making one of 7 silent mistakes that nobody warned you about. I know why you're here. You woke up at 2, maybe 3 in the morning. Your calf seized so hard you couldn't move your foot. You waited for it to pass. And when it finally loosened, you lay there, staring at the ceiling, wondering why you still have that bottle of magnesium and it still isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Stay with me, because by the end of this, I'm going to show you the one magnesium mistake that keeps seniors buying bottle after bottle, while the real reason their leg cramps keep returning is sitting somewhere else entirely. Now, most seniors believe something very reasonable. They believe that if leg cramps keep striking at night, taking more magnesium is the smart move. It sounds right. The bottle says magnesium. The cramp is in the muscle. The logic feels solid. However, a 2020 Cochrane systematic review, one of the most rigorous forms of evidence in medicine, concluded that it is unlikely magnesium supplementation provides clinically meaningful cramp prevention in older adults with ordinary nocturnal leg cramps. And a 2017 randomized clinical trial published in JAMA Internal Medicine tested magnesium oxide directly against a placebo and found no significant difference. Let that land for a moment. The most common form of magnesium that seniors buy, the one on the shelf at nearly every drugstore in America, was tested, and it did not beat a sugar pill for nighttime leg cramps. My name is Dr. David Collin, and I'm not here to scare you away from magnesium. I'm here because the conversation around magnesium and leg cramps after 60 is incomplete, and the missing pieces are the ones that actually matter. Your doctor never told you this, but I will. Now, this is for educational purposes only. Always discuss changes with your own doctor, especially if you take any medications or have kidney concerns. That matters more in this conversation than you might realize, and I'll explain why. If this kind of straight answer helps you, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I cover the things seniors are usually not told until much later. Here's what's really going on. The enemy is not magnesium itself. The enemy is the one mineral shortcut, the idea, reinforced by supplement labels and outdated general advice, that any magnesium, taken anyway, should stop your leg cramps. That idea is not just incomplete. It's the reason the cramps keep winning. And by the time I'm done, you'll know exactly why your magnesium may be failing and what you can do about it starting tonight. Let me show you what's actually happening inside your body when a nighttime leg cramp hits. Because once you see the mechanism, the mistakes become obvious. Your muscles operate on a simple system. A nerve signal tells the muscle to contract. Calcium rushes in, the fibers tighten, and the muscle fires. That's the contraction. But then, and this is the part nobody explains, magnesium is what tells the muscle to relax again. Think of magnesium as the off switch. When it's present in the right amount, in the right place, the muscle fires and releases. When it's not, the muscle fires and keeps firing. That's a cramp. That's what's happening at 3 in the morning. But here's where the confusion begins. Magnesium doesn't work alone. It works alongside potassium, calcium, sodium, and water, all of them held in a careful balance inside your muscle cells and your bloodstream. Pull one out of line, and the whole system stutters. After 60, everything changes, and most people aren't told why. Your body absorbs less magnesium from the gut. The NIH Office of Dietary Supplements notes that older adults have lower dietary intakes, and that magnesium absorption decreases with age while kidney excretion increases. So even if you're taking the same amount you always have, less of it is getting where it needs to go. That's the landscape. Now let me walk you through the 7 mistakes, because each one quietly makes this problem worse. Mistake number 1. Assuming every leg cramp means you need more magnesium. This is the mistake that starts the whole chain. You get a cramp. You search for answers. Every article, every ad, every well-meaning friend says the same thing, magnesium. So you buy a bottle, and it feels like you've done something. But the American Academy of Family Physicians published a review noting that the exact cause of idiopathic nocturnal leg cramps, the kind most seniors get, is still not fully understood. It's probably driven by nerve dysfunction and muscle fatigue, not necessarily by a simple mineral gap. So when you assume the cramp means low magnesium, you may be chasing the wrong fix from the start. Why are so many seniors still cramping after taking the supplement everyone recommends? because the assumption was wrong. The bottle can't fix what the bottle didn't cause. Mistake number 2. Buying the cheapest, most common form without understanding what your body actually does with it. Here's what most people don't know. Not all magnesium is the same once it hits your stomach. The NIH Office of Dietary Supplements states clearly, small studies have found that magnesium in the citrate, lactate, chloride, and aspartate forms is absorbed more completely than magnesium oxide or magnesium sulfate. Magnesium oxide, that is the form in most of the inexpensive bottles on the shelf. It has the highest amount of elemental magnesium per tablet, so the number on the label looks impressive. But your body may absorb only a fraction of what's listed there. A 2019 review published in Nutrients confirmed this. Inorganic salts like magnesium oxide provide high elemental loading but limited bioavailability. In plain English, the label says 300 milligrams, but your muscles might be getting far less. Cheap does not mean useful. Wrong form, wrong absorption, wrong result, and you'd never know it from reading the bottle because the bottle doesn't tell you any of this. Now, the first 2 mistakes are about what you're taking. The next 3, these are about what's happening around it. And this is where it starts getting more serious. Mistake number 3, taking magnesium at the wrong time or too close to other medications. This one catches people by surprise. If you take thyroid medication, certain antibiotics, or a bisphosphonate for bone health, the timing of your magnesium matters enormously. The NIH confirms that magnesium can form insoluble complexes with tetracycline and quinolone antibiotics, reducing the effectiveness of both. And magnesium-rich supplements can decrease the absorption of oral bisphosphonates like alendronate. The recommendation? Take magnesium at least 2 hours before or after these medications. But most people don't know this. They take everything at the same time. Bedside table, handful of pills, glass of water, good night. And the magnesium and the medication quietly cancel each other out. Every night, without a single warning. Mistake number 4. Ignoring a side effect that seems harmless, but isn't. Magnesium supplements can cause diarrhea. The NIH lists magnesium carbonate, chloride, gluconate, and oxide as the forms most commonly reported to cause it. Most people shrug it off. They figure loose stools are just a minor inconvenience. But think about what diarrhea actually does. It pulls water out of your body. And with the water goes potassium, sodium, the very electrolytes your muscles need to stop cramping. So the supplement you're taking to stop the cramps is triggering a side effect that worsens the conditions that cause the cramps. That's not a solution. That's a cycle. And it's one of the most overlooked traps in senior supplement use. Most seniors never connect this to that. Today you will. Mistake number 5. This one is quieter than the others, but it might be the most important so far. Treating magnesium in isolation while ignoring the full electrolyte picture. Your muscles don't run on magnesium alone. Potassium regulates nerve signaling to the muscle. Calcium drives the contraction itself. Sodium helps move all of it across cell membranes. And water, simple hydration, is the medium everything travels through. When you focus only on magnesium, you're looking at one instrument in an orchestra and wondering why the music sounds wrong. If your potassium is low, and many common blood pressure medications, particularly loop and thiazide diuretics, can lower both magnesium and potassium at the same time, then no amount of magnesium alone will silence the cramp. The NIH notes that chronic use of loop diuretics like furosemide and thiazide diuretics, like hydrochlorothiazide, can increase the loss of magnesium in urine and lead to depletion. But they also pull potassium. And if your doctor only checked one of those, or you're only replacing one of those, the gap stays open. There's a reason your magnesium can look right on paper and still not stop your calves and feet from locking up at night. It's because the paper only tells part of the story. Now, I need you to understand something before we go further. The first 5 mistakes, they're real, they're common, and they explain why so many people feel like they've tried magnesium and it didn't work. But there are 2 more mistakes on this list, and they're different. The first 5 are about effectiveness. The last 2 are about safety, and that changes the conversation. Mistake number 6. Using magnesium to cover for a problem that a medication or a food pattern is creating, without ever looking at the root. Here's what I mean. Proton pump inhibitors, medicines like omeprazole, lansoprazole, esomeprazole, are among the most commonly used medications in adults over 60. They manage acid reflux. Millions of seniors take them daily, some for years. In 2011, the FDA issued a drug safety communication warning that long-term PPI use, typically more than 1 year, can cause clinically significant low magnesium levels, low enough to trigger muscle cramps, among other symptoms. So think about this. You're taking a PPI. It's quietly draining your magnesium. You develop leg cramps. You buy a magnesium supplement. It helps a little, or it doesn't. You take more, but the PPI is still running. And in 25% of the cases the FDA reviewed, magnesium supplements could not raise serum levels while the patient remained on the PPI. The supplement couldn't outrun the drain. That is not a magnesium intake problem. That is a medication context problem. And the bottle has no way of telling you that. If you take a diuretic, a PPI, or a laxative regularly, and you're also taking magnesium for leg cramps, and the cramps are still there, this pattern may be why. The supplement isn't failing because it's weak. It's failing because something else is pulling the floor out from under it. I want you to drop a letter in the comments right now. If you believe any magnesium pill should help your nighttime leg cramps, drop the letter A. If you believe the form, the timing, your medications, and the rest of your electrolyte balance matter more than the word magnesium on the label, drop the letter B. I read every single comment personally. Let me know below. And now here's the part I've been building toward. Everything I've told you so far is real, and it matters. But there's something that changes all of it, something almost no one talks about. And once you understand it, you'll never look at that magnesium bottle the same way again. The reason magnesium doesn't work after 60 is often not what people think. It's not that you aren't taking enough. It's not even that you bought the wrong brand. The real issue, the one that sits underneath all 7 of these mistakes, is that magnesium failure after 60 is almost never a simple intake problem. It's a delivery problem, a context problem, and sometimes a misidentification problem. Let me explain what I mean. Delivery failure, your gut absorbs less. The form dissolves poorly. The timing conflicts with another pill. The magnesium enters your body but never reaches the muscle cell in a useful amount. Context failure, your potassium is low, your sodium balance is off. A diuretic is pulling minerals out faster than you can put them back, or a PPI is blocking absorption at the source. The magnesium gets there, but it has nothing to work with. And misidentification. The cramp was never primarily a magnesium problem at all. It was fatigue, nerve compression, vascular changes, medication side effects, or dehydration. And the magnesium was a reasonable guess that never addressed the actual trigger. I'm telling you this because nobody else in this space will. This is for educational purposes only. Always discuss changes with your own doctor. But this is the truth of what the research shows, and you deserve to hear it plainly. And that brings us to the most dangerous mistake on this list. Mistake number 7. Assuming that over-the-counter magnesium is automatically harmless when kidney function, medication load, or red flag cramp patterns are in the picture. The NIH is clear. Too much magnesium from food does not pose a health risk in healthy individuals because the kidneys eliminate the excess. But from supplements, high doses can cause diarrhea, nausea, and abdominal cramping. And in people with impaired kidney function, the risk changes entirely. Your kidneys are the exit door for excess magnesium. When kidney function declines, and it does gradually in many people over 60, sometimes without obvious symptoms, that exit door narrows. Magnesium builds up. A 2017 review in the journal Nutrients confirmed that patients with reduced kidney function face a real risk of hypermagnesemia, dangerously high magnesium, when taking supplements. Signs of magnesium toxicity, according to the NIH, include low blood pressure, nausea, muscle weakness, difficulty breathing, and in extreme cases, irregular heartbeat. Not more. Smarter. Safer. And there's one more layer most people miss. If your leg cramps are new, suddenly worse, happening only on one side, or accompanied by swelling, weakness, warmth, or skin color changes, that is not a magnesium problem. That is a medical signal. That needs a doctor, not a supplement. Most seniors never get this far. They manage one piece of the puzzle. They take the magnesium. They pick a form. But they miss the delivery problem, the context problem, or the safety problem. And that gap is exactly what keeps the cramps returning night after night. This is not age. This is something your body is doing. And once you understand the full picture, the confusion turns into a clear path. So, now you know the 7 mistakes. You know why each one quietly keeps the cramp cycle going. You know the mechanism inside your muscles that runs on more than one mineral. And you know the safety boundaries that most supplement labels never mention. The question is, what do you do with all of this? Here's exactly how to think about it. And I'm going to take this slow because these 4 steps are the ones that actually change the outcome. Step 1. Stop assuming every nighttime leg cramp means take more magnesium. It might be magnesium. It might not. The Cochrane review, the JAMA internal medicine trial, the NIH data, they all point in the same direction. Magnesium is one possibility, not a certainty. Your first job is to question the assumption before you chase the supplement. Step 2. If you do take magnesium, check the form. Check the timing. Check whether another medication is interfering. Are you taking magnesium oxide? Consider that your body may absorb it poorly compared to citrate, chloride, or glycinate forms. The NIH Office of Dietary Supplements supports that distinction. Are you taking it at the same time as your thyroid pill, or your antibiotic, or your bone medication? Separate them. Are you taking it right before bed, but waking with cramps anyway? The timing might need adjusting, and that's a conversation worth having with your pharmacist or your doctor. Step 3. Look at the full cramp picture. Not just magnesium. Your potassium intake. Are you getting enough from food? Your sodium balance. Are you sweating more, eating less, or taking a diuretic that changes the math? Your calcium. Is it in the mix? Your hydration. Not just how much water you drink, but when you drink it, and whether your medications are pulling fluid out faster than you replace it. The muscle cramp is the final symptom. It sits at the end of a chain that involves all of these minerals working together. Fix one and ignore the others. The chain stays broken. So to be clear, magnesium alone is not a cramp strategy. The full mineral and hydration picture is. That's it. Step 4. And this is the one I want you to hold on to more than any other. If your cramps are new, getting worse, happening on one side, or accompanied by swelling, weakness, skin changes, or unusual patterns, bring that to your doctor. Don't self-experiment. Don't add another supplement. That kind of cramp might be telling you something that magnesium cannot fix and should not mask. And if you have kidney concerns, even mild ones, even ones you haven't been told are serious, talk to your doctor before taking any magnesium supplement at all. Because the safety margin narrows in ways the bottle never warns you about. A 2016 study published in Age and Aging found that among primary care patients over 60, the adjusted prevalence of cramps was 46%, with 31% reporting cramps that wake them from sleep. You are not alone in this. Nearly half the people your age are dealing with the same thing. But most of them are making at least one of the mistakes we just covered. Now you know what they don't. After 60, the question is not whether you take magnesium. It's whether your body can use it safely, absorb it well, and actually needs it for the kind of cramp you're having. That's a completely different question. And it's the question that changes everything. This is not age. This is something your body is doing, and we can fix it. But only if we stop reaching for the bottle and start reaching for the full answer. Now, before I let you go, there's one more thing. And this might be the most important part of everything I've said today. If your magnesium is causing GI upset, if you're taking it around medications that bind or block it, if your kidneys aren't clearing it as well as they used to, then the supplement itself has become part of the confusion, not the solution. And every night you continue without addressing the real context, the cramp cycle resets. Not because you're doing nothing, because you're doing the wrong something. The goal was never to take more magnesium. The goal is to make sure the right mineral strategy is being used safely, in the right form, at the right time, inside the full picture of what your body actually needs. But now that you know why magnesium can fail, there's something else happening in your body that can keep leg cramps coming back even when your magnesium looks fine. And if you miss that one, you can do everything we talked about today and still stay stuck. It's about the foods that deliver these minerals naturally, and 3 of them work differently than you'd expect after 60. I cover exactly that in the next video. Watch it now.